So we're going to start off here with a 2005 Royal Rumble, right? This is kind of like the same timeline. This is around, right? We say this is the same timeline.
Yeah.
Same numbers are drawn with Eddie coming in at number 1 and Rey at number 8. The same exact numbers. Nothing changes, by the way. Eddie with Ric Flair. That was funny. That whole backstage. Guerrero stole my number, all that stuff too. And also Nakazawa came in at number 2. So you got Eddie and Nakazawa at 1 and 2 apiece. And then
wouldn't Nakazawa have been like 12?
No. Anyway. So the Rumble, same thing. The whole spiel happened. Like nothing. Everything's the same. The final 6, actually, however, though, was Rey and Eddie, along with Edge, Cena, Batista, and Benoit.
Who?
I know. I just put through that name in there, too.
No, you're good.
So the final 6, Rey and Edge team up, bring back their old days. Remember that? Underrated tag team, by the way, too. But Eddie also joins the fold because, again, he's friends with Rey and also Edge, too. And they all eliminate Benoit. So now it's the 5.
Oh, no.
But Cena eliminates Edge after the 3 celebrate, do like a little handshake together or whatever, like a little hug, like, oh, look, remember the good old days, whatever, too. So Cena eliminates Edge, but Rey kicks Cena to set up a 619. But as Rey hits the ropes to do it, Eddie kicks him out of the ring. And then, but overall, at the end, the same thing applies. Batista wins the Royal Rumble, all that stuff, too. Just that's kind of a little bit of a setup, too. Little thing.
Right.
The following SmackDown, Eddie makes some jokes to Rey, but overall, there's nothing bad. They've been longtime friends, and Rey knows how Eddie is in the shtick. They just kind of joke, being like, oh, Holmes, like, oh, like, you know, like how, I'm picturing Eddie how he is with that too, like whatever. So as the weeks come by, there's no build for a WrestleMania match with them. They don't have WrestleMania matches. You know, Batista has one, Edge is in a Money in the Bank ladder match, Cena's in a match. They each don't have a match, right? But Eddie reminisces how they both killed during their WCW days together. And while they had their WrestleMania matches here and there, like Guerrero at 20 and even Rey for the Cruiserweight Championship, Eddie convinces Rey to do a match together, both of them, one-on-one, even though they're being best friends, whatever. Now, reminder, they don't have the tag titles in this one. I didn't give them the tag titles here. We'll get to that. Despite them being friends, they consider themselves the best in the business, and they could very well have the match of the night. And they do just that in the opener of WrestleMania 21. And guys, you remember how damn good that match was in the opener for 21.
Yes.
That's the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah. So tear the absolute house down. It's the match of the night, too. Rey ends up winning the match like in real life, and Eddie clearly isn't happy about it. But regardless, they shake hands, hug it out, and all that fun stuff, too. So the following SmackDown, there's a tournament set up for the WWE Tag Team Championships. As Joey Mercury's injured, thus Eminem had to vacate the titles. So now there's a tournament. Remember tournaments? It was a little bit. It was after that. But I just put that name because they were tag time, so I just kind of put one of them too.
Right.
So the bracket is set up with the finals being set at Judgment Day, following the actual timeline of the pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie convinces Rey to team up, back to their old WCW days. They knew that, hey, if they are good in single stars, they can kill it as a tag team. They destroy Deuce and Domino in round 1, destroy the Bashams in round 2. This is early 2000 SmackDown tag team, so forgive me. And in the finals, they defeat London and Kendrick at Judgment Day. And I wrote this here. And oh man, ... Can you just imagine that type of match, too? Right?
Oh my God.
So they hold on to the titles for actually a pretty long time. And they have some notable wins against the Dudley Boys at ECW's One Night Stand, because that was a pay-per-view that happened, by the way. The Mexicools and a returning Eminem. But in the latter 2 matches, they almost actually lose the titles due to Rey losing some of his momentum and trying to get some babyface comebacks. But you can see Eddie starting to get a little bit jealous and annoyed at Rey. You kind of saw what happened to in real life, how they kind of had the pairing. I'm trying to further without Dominik, so this is a little bit harder without the Dominik storyline, but I think I got my best to it. So at the Great American Bash, the comeback wasn't enough. Remember this team, Mike? The Legion of Doom with Road Warrior Animal and Heidenreich.
No! Yeah. Not the Heidenreich one!
They won the match and won the tag team titles. Rey was struggling. I was trying to make the tag to Eddie, but Eddie just got up and walked away. And you heard the boos. Boo.
We don't like you.
Yeah. The following SmackDown, Eddie comes to the ring and says, at one point, I was on top of the world as WWE champion, main eventing WrestleMania. And since then, I have been a lackey in the tag team division. Later in the night, Rey gets interviewed backstage to talk about what happened during the whole spiel and the breakup. But Eddie ends up attacking him, right? The whole thing. Turning it to jealousy and saying how the crowd loves you, Rey. And the promo was basically saying, like, they love him no matter what happens. Meanwhile, I get one little slip up and everybody hates me and everything, too. Because Rey's a natural babyface. I've never...
Rey.
Right, I kept trying to picture like
it was so much so. Just as a side note, it was a joke in a WWE game that when he turned heel.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like like you could do that as an option in one of like the Road to WrestleManias.
And it was like, yeah, they're like people like really,
but everybody. The thing is that the whole point of that heel turn in the Road to WrestleMania was that everybody hated him and it didn't work.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's why
that's why
Eddie's jealous because like Rey can do no wrong. I do one thing, I get suspended, I get released.
You do lie, cheat, steal.
Whatever. Yeah, well, that's also it too. So he attacks him for all that stuff. So leading up to SummerSlam, Rey calls out Eddie and tells him to fight him like a man, and face him at SummerSlam. Eddie refuses, but says, "I will face you if you do a gauntlet match between some of your former opponents." Right. So the gauntlet match the week before SummerSlam is as follows. First up, now this is a throwback for the WCW days. Juventud Guerrera goes up first against him. Yeah. And Rey beats him. Next up, Psychosis.
On a tractor or not?
No, this is it. Well, they were part of the Mexico, so I guess they probably had that thing too.
But but you could have him be WCW Psychosis.
Okay, so with Psychosis, then goes up against Chavo Guerrero, beats Chavo. Last up, because they had a couple of things in WCW too, Benoit comes out. But I know. But Benoit is the middleman because he's friends with Rey and he's also friends with Eddie.
Right.
But he comes out here and says, "You guys have been friends for a very long time. Ridiculous. I'm not getting involved in this," and just walks out. And Rey wins by count out. Sets up the match between both of them. And then there's a little stipulation here because I didn't do a ladder match because I don't know what the ladder match would be. So I did So I did a no holds barred match, right?
That works. I feel like that works.
I feel like I could. There's nothing else I could do too. So you had regular chain wrestling, grappling, all that stuff too. No really weapons are involved yet until the midway point where Eddie brings out the steel chair, not the fake thing with that. Puts the chair on his ankle. You know how that whole thing, the shtick, and tries to do it. Hurts his ankle. Rey's limping around, and then you get you get the kendo sticks. You get some tables. You get a lot of different weapon variations that you really haven't seen with both of them because again, you see them more as chain acrobatic, high flying wrestlers and whatnot too. Now here Eddie brings out the steel steps, and he tries to rip off Rey's mask, like what happened later on at one point in the feud too. Rey's bleeding a lot, profusely bleeding. Gets up for the suplex. Rey was able to elbow. I'm trying to demonstrate here. I don't know why I'm demonstrating. Elbows him in the shoulder a little bit, drops him down, and drop kicks Eddie, and Eddie lays down on the steel steps. Right. Rey goes back into the ring, goes from the rope, goes to the other rope, jumps, does like the frog splash or whatever it's called, jumps over the top rope and whatever. Hits Eddie. Excuse me, I'm all over the place with this one. They're both on the floor for a little bit. But again, it's no holds barred. There's no 10 count. There's no whatever.
Yeah.
They both finally get up, throwing some punches here. They go back into the ring. And then in the end, sorry. Okay, perfect. I lost my bullet point for a second too. In the end, Eddie tries to go for the ankle of Rey, but Rey jumps up. And as Eddie's in the grog position down, Rey kicks him on the ropes. Rey was about to go for a 619. But then changes it up and puts like the ring bell between like two ropes to try to take him out too. Sacrifices his own ankle, damn it. Does a 619. Rey's in a lot of pain, but Eddie's also down and out and he's bleeding too. Does a frog splash for the pin. 1, 2, 3. The babyface wins at the end of the day at SummerSlam. That's the best I can do with this feud without Dominik because it kind of wasn't Dominik, but I like it also.